Hey guys, welcome to the first ever podcast with the champ and Adam at Dennis Eakin Kia. We're gonna talk about some crazy things today, Chad.
Yes, sir.
What are you thinking we should talk about first?
Let me show y'all how to get goated first. We're gonna get some goats going on around here.
Chad, how many cars did you sell for me at the other store we were at on an average? Was it 50?
Yeah,
60?
average about 50, and there was about 4 times out of the year I sold most I've sold was 65.
66.
Yeah.
That was in March.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first year you worked with me.
Mm-hmm.
Man, guys, here's the crazy thing in this industry is most really good salespeople are going to sell 15 to 20 cars a month, and that's taking incoming leads, telephones, internet leads, walk-in traffic. Chad, how many walk-in traffic do you take here at this store?
None.
How many internet leads do you take?
None.
So who are you selling?
My people love me. I take care of my people. They follow me, and I stay busy.
So you've been selling cars for how long?
Since December of 2010.
So 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
15 years.
Never took it up in 15 years. I've never taken it up, even when I first got in the industry at Marstaller.
And you're born and raised in Waco.
Waco.
Okay, so everyone that comes in is from that Waco area, or once at one point knew you in Waco.
Yes, sir.
What is it about you that people like? I like you, but what is it about you that stands out to these people?
I just think I'm handsome. No, man, it's most customers know they're gonna buy from you once they meet you. You know what I mean? They know right then when you shake their hand, hey, he's the one, or they can feel the energy. They need to feel you. You know what I mean? Anybody can say anything. You can go. You got to figure out when a customer comes to me with a plan, my job is to put the puzzle together. So I'm good at putting the puzzle together.
Everyone comes to you with the problem. You got to make a solution for the problem.
Figure it out.
So what's the hardest part about that?
About
the puzzle and the people and their problem and getting the problem to get solved.
The hardest part when they come and their problem is they want a Hellcat, but they can only get a Kia 14. That's the hard part.
So maybe they're part of the problem.
Yeah, they're the problem,
so you got to basically convince them.
I tell them, there's a will, there's a way. There's no way right here for you, buddy.
It's like, hey, man, you want this Forte, or would you rather keep driving your Lamborghinis?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So,
but I like the challenge. I like the challenge of bad credit. Anybody can get a good credit customer done.
Facts.
Good credit already feels like they could buy anywhere, anyway. So when they come here, they're not even they don't treat you with the respect that most people. You know what I mean? They come here, look, I'm 800. You're either gonna do what I tell you, or I'm gonna just go down the street.
Yeah, and that takes the intimacy of help, the helping part.
And there's no loyalty.
Yeah.
Because they know they feel this type of way. So I started from the bottom. The reason I got the nickname the People's Champ is because Jeff Hanna gave it to me in Marstaller, because I would never give up on bad credit. They come in, they want to buy a car, so my job is to sell them a car. So why are you not? And then you go to the desk. The desk is easy to buy. You get a cosigner, get them out of here, right?
Yeah.
Hey, what does a cosigner teach me? You know what I'm saying? What do I need? So I'm going through 10, 15 family members, neighbors. Who's your boss? Worked at Wendy's. We need to figure this out. So then I started the cosigners, and then he came up with, I'm gonna call you the People's Champ. I said, no, you're not. I'm not The Rock, not Paul Wall. No, sir, that is not my nickname. He kept calling it, and now I'm branded.
Yeah.
And now I love it.
Yeah, it looks good on the back of our cars, too.
Yeah, it does.
And I'm not going to lie. Every time I'm in Waco, I'm actually, looking around for the TPC sticker on there.
Yes, sir.
And I swear, you can't go to Waco without seeing one.
No, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
We counted 14 at the mall at Dillard's Saturday. I was like, man, it should have been 15, so I got to do a little bit better.
So you can't even just roll out of bed and not look good. When you go out in Waco, you're going to run into somebody. Yeah.
And I can't do no last-minute shopping.
No.
Because if it closes at 8, I'm there at 7:50, I'm not going to get nothing.
Because someone's going to come up and talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, you're social, so you like that. You like the attention, too.
Yeah, I love the attention.
Yeah. All right, hey, so one thing that I want to point out, when Chad sells 30 to 50 cars a month here, it's way different than the average sales rep in our industry that's taking these leads and walk-ins. He's dealing with friends and family, is what it seems like. And these people will come in, and they'll wait 2 hours to get to talk to you. And they don't want any help from anybody else. And that's something that I haven't seen a lot of. I started selling cars back in '99. And I was the top sales guy at a Toyota store in Tulsa. And this was in the nice area of town. And I was a 20-plus car sales guy. And it was a lot of work. But I never got the loyalty from my customer base as you did. And I'm wondering, what was the little things that you might have did that I didn't do? I still cared about the customer. I still worked hard for them, made sure I got the best deals. I ran to go get keys. You know, I did all that stuff. Did my follow-ups. But maybe was it because my clientele was a different credit and that they weren't loyal?
I don't know, because I get a lot of good credits loyal now. So I just do the extra. They come in, they got 500 down. We already know you might get some, you might not, right? But if all they have is 500 and I need 700, I usually give them the 200 out of my pocket.
I know.
I do the little stuff.
Yeah.
They need insurance. I go the extra mile and help them get the insurance. Oh, insurance is 190. When can you pay me back? What are we doing? And I just take it. You know, some people don't pay you back at all.
Yeah.
And then you know what's up. But I'm going to say 80% pay me back. So
yeah, 80%.
I do the extra and I go, you know, I'm always in the community. Like,
that's what I was going to get at. What kind of events have you done in the community in Waco?
Man, I do backpack giveaways and we do big events at the park, free barbecues and bounce houses and, you know, whatever it takes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like what?
Remember when I was at the other place, what I did like the Dunkin' booths. You just got to make it exciting.
Yeah, didn't you do
buying
like
a car is like, it's the second biggest
purchase.
So you gotta. So why come in here and be so serious and hard on yourself? Hey, we're gonna have some fun. That's the difference. Everybody else is so knowledgeable and they're so, hey, this car gets 80 miles a gallon. The customer didn't even come in for that.
Yeah.
You gotta do your fact checks. You know what I'm saying? They're not coming in for gas miles. They want a stinger. They want to go fast.
Yeah.
They want a K5 GT.
They want their day in the sun.
Gas ain't even it. So you overtalk yourself. You just need to listen to them. Let them tell you what they want. You know.
So
they're hot buttons. What I look for.
You think that's one of the biggest things with salespeople is they talk too much?
I think they talk too much and they rely on the desk too much. You don't need to rely on
that
the
part
desk,
right there.
The desk don't even have a relationship with them. That's your job. The desk is to help you with numbers, to help you put a deal together. The desk ain't to go out there and talk to every customer you have. Like, you know what I'm saying? They need to apply themselves. They need to invest in themselves.
Like buy their own drill.
Like buy their own drill.
Right before this podcast, Chad was having a meltdown. Somebody asked him, he's on the phone to borrow his drill. You'd think that, yeah, he's doing better. All right. So I'm going to switch it up real quick.
Okay.
What are some of the things that separate average salespeople that you see from top salespeople? And you can start with just what's in the building.
Let's just go with ambition. You got to have hustle. You got to have ambition. You can't have hustle with no ambition. You can't have ambition with no hustle. You got to want it. You know what I'm saying?
So
a lot of people get up out of bed and they're just like, so what I see, a lot of people are just content with either a draw check or whatever they got going on.
It's a sickness, isn't it?
Yeah. Even though you work for a dealership, at the end of the day, you're working for yourself.
Yeah.
So when you don't sell a car, you don't make a check. So why is it up to the dealership to make you sell a car? You got all the tools. You got the inventory. You got the cars. You got the desk managers. You got good finance. You got the phone. You got everything. You got leads. You got internet. You got, ups.
Yeah.
So the only person stopping you from selling a car is yourself.
Right.
Then they get in their head because they don't sell none now. And then they get, where they don't make no money. And then it's always a complaint. Well, I'm going to go somewhere. Well, go. It's going to be the same thing everywhere you go. Because we're not here to babysit you. You're here to do your job. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's one of the things that's really kind of gotten into our industry and it's made it really hard for the top level salespeople is because you get all these imposters that come in and they come in and they treat this like a job and
like a 9 to 5.
They treat this like a job and they get paid like an employee. And then you've got someone that treats this like their business and then they get paid like a boss. So the difference would be probably starting off in the morning is winning their morning, right?
Yeah.
Like getting up early, beating the clock, working out, eating something healthy, looking sharp, right? Looking better than the customer, right? And then coming into the dealership with a plan of action, not just coming in to see who's going to have the good conversation and hopefully someone brings some kolaches,
You got to be positive. If you're not positive, I don't care what's going on in life, leave that at the curb. We all have problems. But a customer can tell when you have a problem. First of all, it's nobody else's business that your lights got cut off. And you don't need to be over here moping. You just don't need to come in at all if that's how you can do it. I have problems like everybody else. I leave it at the curb. The customer don't know nothing. It's Disneyland, baby. We're going to have some fun. And I'm going to get you off your feet in the street.
Off them rubber heels on some rubber wheels.
And remember, the only deal I can't beat is the deal I can't see.
Now for real. Oh, man, that's one of my favorite sayings. I think you came up with that.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I got it patented.
Yeah, did you really?
Yes.
So you'd be a good one to talk to about what a bank looks at to determine whether or not they're going to buy a loan.
Yes.
So what do you
Everybody
think the
thinks-
first thing a bank looks at before they decide to make the purchase?
History.
So it's not your credit score?
No, everybody thinks credit score, credit score, credit score. No, it's about history. All credit is a way to judge you. So you got to look in the mirror and be like, hey, I really want this Hellcat. I know I got 2 repos already. I didn't do good through this bank and this bank, but you know what? I want a Hellcat. Would you loan yourself $70,000 after you already seen you didn't pay the $20,000 car you already had?
The answer is probably no, and
Exactly.
you know yourself, right?
And that's what I tell people. Like, I understand this is what you want. Look, you had a couple hiccups, but I don't judge them because life happens to everybody. You don't know what happened. They could be going through a sickness or lost their job. Everybody has hard times, right?
Yeah.
But it's time to rebuild. You can't try to rebuild and just be like, hey, I want that mansion. No, you got to start with this wood home first, and then we're going to.
So I think that there's 3 things. 24, 25 years been doing this. There's 3 things that they look at. I think that the first thing they look at is loan to value. Yep. If this is a $20,000 car and I'm selling you this car for $15,000, the bank says, okay, tell me more.
Yep.
Right?
Less risk involved.
Less risk, right? So that's the first thing they look at is the loan to value. The second thing that they look at is income. Yep. I mean, if I gave you the greatest deal on this vehicle, but you can't make the payments, I can't loan you the money to get it, right?
Exactly.
So we got to pick the right car with our income. And then I guess the third thing that they would look at would be the credit score to determine the risk and the interest rates. You know, I think I should take just a second to put this out there that I sure would like Joe Rogan to sit on one of these podcasts.
For real. Bring him.
I mean, he is in Austin, Texas. I couldn't pay him, but I think that we could hang out for a minute and talk about his comedy club and hang out in general, right?
Heck yeah.
Maybe if I just start selling one of his products, like one of these little Myo Clean energy drinks or something, I could get him on board. But no, for real though, I would like to put that out there. Maybe he'll see it and just come by and say hi, right?
That'd be live.
Would you show up for that?
What? I would show up and give him a Kia.
You give him a Kia?
Kia's where it's at.
You said that like you said kiss.
Yeah.
All right.
Kia. Hey, so we're talking about me a little bit. Let's talk about Adam. First of all, I met Adam in 2020. I was out job hunting because, you know, I didn't like what I was in at the time. It was time for me to figure something out. And
that sounds like a good story we could talk about.
I came down here. Brian, my friend Brian was working down here at All American. I didn't know Adam at all yet. And Brian brought me up, and Adam's like, well, I want to see this guy. You know what I'm saying? I told Adam how much money I needed and what all I needed. He looked at me like I was crazy. But he gave me opportunity, and he's the best I've seen in the business. He really is. We became good friends. I talked to him about anything that comes up, anything I need help with, even if it has not work related. Like, he's like a friend of mine. Like, yeah, I love this guy. So I want to ask him, what made you the deal maker? How about that? Because he's a monster. Well,
I just figured that kind of like you, I like to be the guy that gets to say yes and change someone's life. And then, it takes you, I guess you got to care about your customer. Mm-hmm. And then you've got to care about your salesperson in your dealership. I mean, anybody can get people approved the wrong way. I try to do it the right way. But I guess, man, I'm just not afraid of moving metal, man. If I got to take a stupid deal, but I get to gain a customer, so be it.
Yeah.
Like, these cars just come in off the trucks daily. Like, they never stop coming in. I can't replace a customer.
So another thing about Adam, man, training. He's the best trainer I've ever seen when it comes to actually training people and building them up, whether it be a regular salesperson or it's a manager. Like, it's crazy. I'm talking about he's training GMs. Like, I'm just looking at him like, he's him. He's really him. It's crazy.
Really him.
Tell him about that, bro. How you train, because you're a monster.
Man, I got to do better at that, to be honest. You can't really impact somebody until they know you and know that you are for them. I'm on month 2, so several people have kind of opened up. One of our new girls, I think her first full month with me, I told her, I said, if you'll just do everything I tell you to do, even if it sounds tedious and like too much, just do it exactly to the T, and I guarantee you that you'll be successful. She says, I'll do it. And her first month, she sold 24. Mm-hmm. I think she's on 23 or 24 her second month. And, and I told her the other day, I had to tell her, I said, in this business, friends cost you money. It's lonely on top. It's lonely on top. And you'll have a lot of people not want to talk to you anymore when you're all of a sudden successful because you basically expose them. Because what do they not do? They don't do their follow-up first thing in the morning. They're not here 30 minutes early every day. They don't walk their inventory. They don't look sharp. And they don't follow up, send videos and do fun stuff and do the extra stuff, right? And have fun with it. And she does all of that. And I mean, she's in the future, she's one. She could be up there with you.
Let's do it.
You know, I mean,
I
she's
welcome
second
anybody.
month in the business. It's pretty impressive. I mean, I didn't do that. You might have done that. How many did you sell your second month?
I don't know. I never sold under 20 my whole career though, and I started December 16th, 2010, and I remember there was a guy there called Papa that was like the head dude.
Papa.
Yeah, I was just popular. You know what I mean? It's just popularity, right? I was on MySpace and stuff, and when I posted that I was, hey, come get a car, I'm already popular. I'm already doing parties, and I'm already doing a lot of stuff anyway as a young one. You know what I'm saying? So they just started coming. I remember my first month I sold 22, and I started on the 16th. It's just how many people I knew. You know what I mean?
Well, I remember when you started with me over at the other store. You got COVID. You were out for 2 weeks and sold like 26 cars, and I was like, this is unreal. I was like, wonder what he could do whenever he's here all the time. I've never seen you here all the time though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be either though. I'm not lying.
You know, I'm just living life and enjoying it now.
That's good.
Back then I wasn't enjoying it. I didn't get to spend time with my kids. It's different now. Back then I was chasing that title, chasing it. Well, I got it. I know I can do it. So I'm just, whatever comes, it comes. I don't push for the 60 no more. That's a lot of work, man. Then I have to be at work sun up to sundown. Don't have the time with my kids.
Right. And
you got to work yourself up to the point where you can be able to do that. You can't just do that. You know what I mean?
No, you can't. And that's the sad thing is this younger generation comes into our car business and they want to work less than 40 hours a week and they expect to make COVID money, and it's just not that way. So you got to get better at your job. It's got to be your profession. It's got to be what you love doing. If you don't love doing this, I suggest you stop doing it.
Making dreams come true one driveway at a time.
That's it, man.
One Kia at a time.
The people's champ, everybody.
And the deal maker. Hey, man, if y'all need a new car, truck, SUV, y'all come to Dennis Eakin Kia. You got the deal maker and you got the champ. Then we got a great staff, so it doesn't even matter. Just pull up and show you what we can do. We'll show you how easy it is to buy a car. We're not here to sell you a car. We're here to help you buy one.
There you go. It's easy.
Easy.
Just let us show you how easy it is to do business here.